It's time for Giants Baseball Corner. It's not personal, it's personnel. This website contains, or may contain, copyrighted material, the use of which has not explicitly been authorized by a given copyright holder. However, this is a news program in the sports category that covers current and even live events in progress. This material is being used for educational purposes and is intended to be transformative, especially perhaps to the San Francisco Giants players. I produce everything in Giants Baseball Corner myself as a journalist, and I pay for hosting the content as a publisher, and I produce all related videographic commentary as a broadcaster. This falls under the fair use guidelines outlined in Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act, specifically for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, and research. If such content is used in a broadcast, all rights and credit remain with the original copyright owners, MLB, or broadcasting entities as they may be. I did not intend any kind of claim. Here, those are most likely to be the MLB or sports broadcast entities. All attempts are made to give credit where it's due to live broadcasts, and failure to do this is the host's alone. Okay, that's the disclaimer here at Giants Baseball Corner. Today we are watching the Rockies. It is Game 4. The Rockies took the first one on Thursday night after an unusual collapse by the usually reliable reliever, Tyler Rogers, the Submariner. But the guys rebounded and played well to take Friday's game, Saturday's game, and now lead the series 2-1. A couple of homers from Chapman over the last couple of games, including the grand slam yesterday. Cappy Chappy. Guardado noted that, quote, since the start of last season, San Francisco is 44-13 when Matt Chapman records an RBI in a game. 44-13 when Matt Chapman records an RBI in a game, and 26-6 when he homers, close quote. Guardado points out that Chapman, quote, entered Friday mired in a 6-for-43 funk over his previous 13 games, but is now tied with Wilmer Flores for the team lead in home runs, 7 home runs after those back-to-back ones in the last 2 games. It is Logan Webb on the mound tonight. He's been shortchanged by the bullpen in a couple of games. He's got a 3-2 record because of that. But he only had himself to blame in his last start down in San Diego. Well, hang on, check that. I also think part of the blame has to go to Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire in San Diego. I watched that whole game. I think I called it. I'm not sure. And I've been using umpscorecards.com, and trying to learn a little bit more about that. Maybe if some of you guys know more about that, you can hit me to that stuff, because I do want to know how to judge these guys. And when I went and looked at it, Bellino for that game, right, had 96% correct calls. That's pretty good. But he had a minus 0.59. That's minus 0.59 FAV for the home team index. So that's an impact stat. I mean, the 6 or 7 pitches that Bellino got wrong had an impact for Webby, I think. I need someone to go through that with me. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Okay, we're getting set to start. It is Logan Webb on the mound. He's warming up, as it were. And he will be facing today the Colorado Rockies lineup. Leading off, it's Brenton Doyle in center field, Jordan Beck in left, Ryan McMahon, who has had success this weekend, will be batting third, playing third base. Hunter Goodman, the DH, followed by Michael Toglia. He's a switch hitter, and he's playing first base. Kyle Farmer at second. Mickey Moniak is the right fielder. He'll be batting seventh. Jacob Stallings is the catcher. He's batting eighth. And Alan Trejo will be playing shortstop today for the first time on this trip for the Rockies and batting ninth. The Rockies, who are not doing well to start the season. They're 6-26, so they have a lot of losses, and 5 of those are owned by German Marquez, who is on the mound today. He has an 0-5 record, a 9.82 ERA, and just 15 Ks. Logan Webb, of course, 3-2, 2.83 ERA, and 50 Ks. Here is the first pitch, 1:06 p.m. Hang on, that's right in the middle of the plate and lifted to right field, where it is caught by Mike Yastrzemski. 1 pitch, 1 out. First pitch, 1:06 p.m. Patrick Bailey behind the plate. Lamont Wade Jr. at first. Christian Koss taking second base. Yastrzemski in right. Willie Adames playing short. Chapman in third. Luis Matos out in left. And, of course, Jung-Hoo Lee playing center field. Tyler Fitzgerald, who had the contusion, went for an MRI on the 1st of May, and it was found that he had fractured a rib. And so Christian Koss, once again, is playing second base. That's good. Bob said the other day that a lot of these guys should be ready because we're going to be using folks. It is springtime. Logan Webb now looking in to left fielder Jordan Beck, who drills one. Oh, that was to McMahon. Sorry. McMahon is batting second. Oh, no, I missed an out. All right, the whole beginning of this game has gone screwball because I can't see the whole screen here. I was so excited to do all this stuff today, and I set it all up wrong, didn't I? There are 2 down in the top of the first. Logan Webb has just given up a single to Ryan McMahon, there's a fastball for a swinging strike to Hunter Goodman, the designated hitter. Ryan McMahon has just woken up his bat on the trip here. He hit the home run against Verlander. He hit the single last night against Hicks. Webb deals. Here's a grounder to Matt Chapman, who scoops it and makes the throw to Lamont Wade Jr. for the final out of the top of the first. 1 hit. That's the single to Ryan McMahon. And the Giants will be coming up to bat with Yastrzemski, Adames, and Jung-Hoo Lee. But yeah, the injury report has it that Tyler Fitzgerald, who was initially diagnosed with a chest contusion, suffered diving for a ball against the Texas Rangers back on the 28th. The 25th of last month, in the middle of that series with the Rangers that closed out that long stretch of games. He slid, and now the MRI says it's a left rib fracture. Ouch. That was 3 days ago. So he's been moved to the 10-day IL, and he will not be going on the road trip to Chicago and Minnesota. He'll be back probably for those Arizona games in the middle of the month. Casey Schmidt has a left oblique strain and won't be available this entire month. Probably, well, they're saying maybe late May, but those oblique strains are a problem for many players. And, of course, catcher Tom Murphy is still, not anywhere on anybody's radar. It doesn't look like he's going to be back until the second half, if at all. And this gives us a real problem behind the plate. The backup right now, Sam Huff, is doing all right. He's had 30 ABs, 7 hits, a homer. He's slashing 233, 294, and 661 OPS. And the guys over at Around the Foghorn this morning have posted a piece about that. Jeff Young says that they may have to platoon because Patrick Bailey's bat is just not very good, and he has dropped off second half of last season and the beginning of this season. So here we go. Mike Yastrzemski takes the first pitch in there for a strike, a 93-mile-an-hour two-seamer from German Marquez. It's 0-1. Marquez deals. It's at the high end of the strike zone, lifted by Yastrzemski to deep center field, but it is caught. Out number 1. Brenton Doyle drifted back and just grabbed that just near the warning track. Marquez has pitch arsenal: a four-seamer, a sinker, a slider, a knuckle curve, a changeup. I think he's got a lot of action. Now, I don't know whether these batting averages against mean anything against a guy who's been this poor. Here comes the pitch, well outside on the 94-mile-an-hour four-seamer. It's 1-0 to Willy Adames. Here comes the pitch. It's in there. Adames swings it around for a foul ball into third base territory. Ooh, sorry, folks. Rough start today. Bottom of the first. Here's the pitch inside, but called a strike. It is 1-2 to Willy Adames from German Marquez here in the bottom of the first in a scoreless game with one down. Marquez looks in, deals. It's in the dirt outside, but stopped by the catcher. 2-2 to Willy Adames. Probably help if I have my glasses, huh? Marquez looks in, throws. Adames swings, makes contact, and that's going to be out of play. Remains 2-2. Willy Adames batting .215 now. He's been picking it up a little bit lately. That's good. One down here. Here comes the pitch from Marquez. Low. Adames does not go. They check with first. No swing. It's 2-2. Sorry, check that. Full count now. 3-2. From German Marquez to Willy Adames with one down in the bottom of the second. German takes a breath. Looks in. Shrugs his shoulders. Sets now and deals. The pitch is on the inside and fouled away by Willy Adames. Count remains full. Marquez shaking off his catcher, Jacob Stallings. Here comes the pitch. It's in there, and again, inside with the 94-mile-an-hour fastball, fouled away by Willy Adames. The count remains full with one down. This has been a four-seam fastball, sinker, slider, knuckle curve, slider, sinker combination. So that last pitch was a sinker, the 94-mile-an-hour pitch. Two-seamer, I guess. Marquez sets, throws to Adames, who swings and pops it up behind the plate. Will it be out of play? Just barely off the glove of Stallings into the net. The count will remain full to Willy Adames. That ball, he might have caught it, but the railing was right there. There was a kid just behind the net. It was a tricky little positioning for Jacob Stallings there. He just couldn't get it. He leaped into the net. Full count, Marquez to Adames. Here comes the pitch. It's in there. And Adames swings and does not miss. The pitch was right in the center of the plate. That's a home run for Willy Adames. 1-0 Giants. That was a very nice at-bat for Willy Adames. He fought off a couple of those inside pitches. Marquez, already looking bothered, gave him one right down the pipe. Blasted by Willy Adames. Left of center. Blam. Home run number 3 for Senor 38. Just 35 more home runs to go on the promise of 38 homers that Willy Adames made during spring training. Here comes the pitch inside. Swung on by Jung-Ho Lee and driven into foul territory. That's 0-1 to Jung-Ho Lee. One down, one already in. Nobody on. Jung-Ho Lee looks. Here comes the pitch. Outside. It's 1-1. Lee now not showing that open face stance, but rather, now there it is, the more open face stance. Here comes the pitch. Inside. 1-2 to Jung-Ho Lee. Lee batting .312 with an .869 OPS, 3 home runs. Here comes the pitch. It's at the lower part of the strike zone. Fouled out of play. 2-2. Aramon Marquez to Jung-Hoo Lee. It's a 1-0 game. Here comes the pitch. Low golf swing by Lee, who makes a tip contact and is tagged for the out. That's that golf swing he had the other day that was caught in left field, but I've seen other times he goes down there. It looks like, remember when Panda used to do that? When Pablo Sandoval would get those crazy balls? He's flicking his wrist at a ball like a I don't know, a wedge. Anyway, it is a strike, and he does strike out. Here comes the pitch to Matt Chapman inside. 1-0 to Matt Chapman. Chapman, of course, hit the grand slam yesterday and a home run in the game before. Now has 7 home runs, tied for the lead with Wilmer Flores. Here comes the pitch. That's right in the zone. Chapman hits it, but it's popped up shallow center field and caught by second baseman Kyle Farmer. Willie Adames puts the Giants on the board. It's 1-0 San Francisco. And we're back. Logan Webb on the mound with a 1-0 lead now after a Willie Adames home run in the bottom of the first inning. Webb gave up a single to Ryan McMahon. So it'll be Michael Toglia batting left. He is a switch hitter, and the first ball is in the dirt. That's 1-0 from Webb to Toglia, batting 200 this year. Here comes the pitch, wide outside. That's 2-0 to Michael Toglia, the first baseman. Logan sets, throws, in there, swung and missed on the 85-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball. Two and one to Toglia. Here's the pitch. Outside, 3-1. He has fallen behind here, Logan Webb, in the second inning. To Michael Toglia. Logan Webb looks in. He sets. He throws. He gets the call on a pitch that looked like that was outside. StatCast shows it outside. We're going to have to talk about StatCast and what we see on TV, too, because I keep talking about things that I think are in there and not in there. I did a little bit of reading about StatCast today, and I learned a few things about how it's set up at each of our ballparks. Logan Webb now sets on the full count. He's high and outside. The walk is given up. Should have been on the previous pitch, to be honest. It was outside. So the switch hitting Toglia, Michael Toglia, is aboard as a leadoff walk for the Rockies here in the top of the second with nobody out. It's Chris Guccione behind the plate calling balls and strikes today. We can look him up on ump scorecards, which I've been checking out lately. 0-1, Logan Webb to Farmer, Kyle Farmer outside. That's 1-1. With a runner on. Toglia's at first. Nobody out. Kyle Farmer facing Logan Webb. Webb checks first. Looks in. Sets. Throws. Beautiful pitch. The two-seamer is chopped foul. 1-2 to Farmer. Kyle Farmer, second baseman, looks at Logan Webb, who throws. It's in there, and Farmer chips it away again, this time to the first base side. Count remains 1-2. Logan Webb checks first, sets, throws. The high fastball gets him swinging. Strikeout number 1 for Logan Webb. Actually, that came out of Bailey's glove. Kind of a sloppy. But it is the first strikeout. Here comes the pitch. Webb catches the lower outside corner to Moniak. Mickey Moniak, the right fielder. It's 0-1 from Logan Webb. The pitch. Low and swung on and missed. That was a beautiful. The bottom just fell out of that one. Mickey Moniak at the plate. Logan Webb dealing. It's 0-2. 1 down, 1 on. Webb checks first. The runner stays. He sets. He throws. High and a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Logan Webb. That was a beautiful rising fastball. That's 2 strikeouts back to back after giving up a walk here in the top of the second. Logan Webb now looks in to Jacob Stallings, who looks at strike 1. The sinker. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away. That was the sweeper, the 85-mile-an-hour sweeper. Some of these are difficult to identify from the way they look. That's good, of course. That's what we want. So 0-2 quickly to Stallings. A strike looking at a foul ball. Logan Webb looks in with 1 on. Here's the throw. Swing and a miss. Strikes him out. So after giving up a walk, Logan Webb strikes out the remaining Rockies. And we go to the bottom of the second with the Giants leading 1-0. Yeah, I want to check out this umpscorecards.com. I've been looking at it recently over here. And it's got a lot of interesting statistics. And they use the StatCast data. Now, the StatCast data I was learning about today, there are 12 minimum. I'm sure there are more now. It was back in 2020 when they first put it in that there were 12 cameras all over every major league park. And they're placing the ball in space like an RFID field. And so the spin of the ball, the rotation, the movement of the ball, and so on is detected from the pitcher's hand all the way to the plate, and across the plate, of course. But they were talking about the accuracy. It has been tested numerous times, and the accuracy to the center of the baseball, okay, not to the edges of the baseball, but to the center of the baseball at the front of home plate. These devices measuring that have been found to be accurate within 1/4 of an inch on average. 1/4 of an inch. The center of the baseball. Okay, so I was thinking about how each of the broadcasts has a different style of box there. And so when I've been calling these pitches or when I'm complaining about calls, it's not because of the box that I see so much as it is the batter, what I think of as the strike zone, where the ball crosses the plate, etc. And then, of course, the umpire and the accuracy of the umpire and his consistency is kind of what it's about. And this website is pretty interesting. Scorecards. I'm going to learn more about that and be sharing more about that with you. In fact, later in this game, we'll look up Guccione, who's behind home plate, and see what we can learn about him. Okay, here we go. It'll be Wilmer Flores to lead off the bottom of the second inning. With the Giants leading 1-0, German Marquez looks in. He throws. Flores swings on the first pitch and pops it up to right field. Shallow right. It will be caught by the shortstop, Alan Trejo. 1 down. Lamont Wade Jr. now steps into the box and looks at a very high fastball from Marquez. Well above the plate. That's 1-0 to Lamont Wade Jr. Marquez sets, deals, misses again, not by much. On the upper outside of the corner. It's 2-0. Lamont Wade Jr., he's been hitting better lately. It's been nice to see. Marquez sets, throws in the dirt. 3-0 to Lamont Wade Jr. We're very happy for him to walk as well. He has been doing that. That's what makes his OPS climb, even when he's not able to make contacts. Here comes the pitch. That's in there for a strike. The 95-mile-an-hour fastball finds the zone. It's 3-1 to Lamont Wade Jr. from German Marquez. Who looks in, sets, throws. That's right in the middle of the plate. Swung on and popped up again to left field, where it is caught 2 down. Jordan Beck makes the catch. 2 down in the bottom of the second. The Giants lead 1-0. The batter will be Luis Matos, who has a home run in this series yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, it was the day before yesterday. Matos is in left, giving Elliot Ramos a break. The first pitch is a strike, a 96-mile-an-hour right down the middle. 0-1 to Luis Matos. Elliot Ramos has been great in left lately, making a lot of sliding catches, tracking down balls, really looking like he wants to make left field his zone. Here comes the pitch, high and inside to Matos. Marquez missed wildly there. It's 1-1. But Matos has been a serviceable replacement for Jung-Hoo Lee when he's out, and now he's covering for Elliot Ramos, who's getting a well-deserved rest. Here's the pitch. It's just outside. Beautiful, beautiful swing by Luis Matos for a base hit single right up the middle. That pitch was just on the outside of the middle of the strike zone. He timed it perfectly. A beautiful base hit from Luis Matos against German Marquez. And we have two down, 1 on, with Patrick Bailey, the aforementioned, who is struggling at the plate. Here's the pitch. That's a first swing. He drills it right to the first baseman, who catches it and steps on the bag. Not that he needed to. I think he caught it in the air. The ball was right at the bag. He just caught it and just was standing basically on the bag. And so the Giants go relatively quietly. But Luis Matos has another single. That's good. I like to see that. Good piece of hitting. Okay, we go to the top of the third shortly here on Giants Baseball Corner. Oh, yeah, I wanted to put this on the site, too. Let me do that. What do you guys think of this music? This is all tracks I made several years ago using a free app on the phone because I wanted to have music that would not, violate copyright. You know what I'm talking about? So that's kind of what was going on there. The Giants lead 1-0. We're going to the top of the third. I'm adding the stream to the website, GiantsBaseballCorner.com. On May the 4th be with you. Alrighty. Logan Webb looks in and throws a first pitch inside for a ball. It's a 1-0 count to Alan Trejo, the shortstop, new shortstop. Webb now finds the zone, a strike at 93 miles an hour. It's 1-1. Logan Webb, after giving up a walk, struck out 3 straight batters to end the last inning. He now looks in, sets, and throws to Trejo. It's right in the middle of the plate, but lifted into right field. An easy pop fly caught by Yastrzemski. Alrighty, top of the order now. Brenton Doyle, the center fielder who lined out last time up, facing Logan Webb. Webb sets, throws, just misses, but he gets the call. All right, how about that? Guccione's strike zone is slightly larger than some other umpires, and that's called a strike. 0-1. Here's the pitch. That's low and swung on. Knocked foul, dribbled over to the third base side, and Doyle is looking at 0-2 quickly against Logan Webb, who has struck out the last 3 batters he faced. Here's the pitch. That's in there and hit directly to Willy Adames, who scoops it and makes the play. Throws him out at first. 2 down. Jordan Beck now. Flight out first time up. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike looking. 0-1. Logan Webb to Jordan Beck. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the third. That one's in the dirt. Bounces. Bailey catches it, switches to a new ball. It's 1-1 to Jordan Beck. Left fielder for the Colorado Rockies, who looks at Logan Webb. Webb breathes, sets, throws, swung on, and fouled away. 1-2. Logan Webb looking in. He throws. That is low and away. And the count is 2-2. Logan Webb sets 2-2. The pitch is inside, but in the zone, swung on and fouled away. The count will remain 2-2. Top of the third, 2 down. The Giants lead 1-0, and the count is 2-2 from Logan Webb to Jordan Beck. Webb sets, throws high and inside, nearly hits him. The count is full. Beck looks back at Logan Webb, who mechanically goes right into his regular rhythm. It's a full count. Webb throws. That's at the bottom of the zone, swung on and fouled away. Jordan Beck is putting together a nice little at-bat against Logan Webb right now. The count is full. It's the top of the third. There are 2 down. Webb sets. He breathes. Here's the pitch. And it is popped up to center field where Jung-Hoo Lee will track it down near the warning track. In the grass still, but well, that's the final out of the top of the third. And the Giants will be leading off with Christian Kost, the young man who has been playing for Tyler Fitzgerald at second base. He has a couple of walks, but 8 strikeouts in his 29 ABs. This will be his 30th AB this season. We can say in the majors, he doesn't have any from last year, does he? I don't think Kost has any from last year. Christian Kost getting the opportunity to start today. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's it. He hasn't had any starts last year. So this will be his 30th PA. He has 6 hits. He's batting .207 with a .281 on-base percentage, a .207 slugging, and a .488 OPS, a slight bump from those couple of walks he managed to draw. He also has an HBP. So, and he's not a large guy. He's not a big guy, you know. So strike zone, I think, is kind of a... He's 6'1", 186. Bats right out of Riverside, California. Oh, that's right. May the 4th be with you, my friends. It is Star Wars weekend at the Yard. So here we go. Christian Kost steps in to face Herman Marquez. And the Giants lead 1-0. Kost has those big sunglasses on. Here comes the pitch. It's high. Good take. 1-0 from Marquez to Kost. Sets, deals. That's right in the middle of the plate. Kost hits it, pops it up to center, and it is caught by the shortstop. Kind of midway out to center field. The center fielder was standing right behind him, and they're having a laugh about how he was standing right there. Good communication between the Rockies infield and outfield there. 1 down. Willie Adames had a home run. That's the difference in this game. Yastrzemski now at the plate. Here's the pitch. Yastrzemski lifts one to center. It's going back, but it is caught at the warning track. 2 down. The difference in this game, a Willie Adames home run. 1-0 Giants. Herman Marquez on the mound now looks into Willie Adames. The pitch way outside. It's 1-0. Here comes the pitch. High and inside, 2-0. Doesn't look like Marquez is giving him anything to hit with 2 down here in the bottom of the third after having yielded the home run. Here's the pitch. It's right in the middle of the plate. Adames grabs it, and he knows. Another home run almost to the exact same place. 2 ABs, 2 home runs for Willie Adames against Herman Marquez. It is Colorado 0, Willie Adames 2. He rounds third, gives Matt a low 5, hops on the plate. And the Giants lead 2-0 on the bat of Willie Adames. Right in the middle of the plate. Same pitch, same result here, friends. I would like to see those two overlaid. I bet they look very, very similar. He just drove this. Bang, it was gone. He knew. He just set the bat down. Not a flip so much as a confident relaxation. Here's the pitch, and that is in there for a strike to Jung-Hoo Lee. With 2 down, it's 0-1 from Marquez to Jung-Hoo Lee. Marquez sets. He throws. In the dirt, it bounces on the plate and flies up in the air. And Guccione, the umpire, tracks it down and makes a catch. The umpire chased the ball that was popped up and caught it. You don't see that very often, my friends. Barehanded, too, at that. Made a little joke about an umpire yesterday had to leap over. Hey, there's a swing by Jung-Hoo Lee on a pitch that is grounded to the short stop. Anejo, who throws him out. Sorry, Alan Trejo. And that will end the inning. But it is 2-0 on the strength of Willie Adames' bat, who has yet another solo home run for the San Francisco Giants. Now that takes him to 4 for the year. Pretty exciting to see. His bat has definitely woken up in the last several weeks. I would say the last several days. He and Matt Chapman both starting to stroke it now. That's exciting stuff, my friends. We're going to the top of the 4th inning. It will be Ryan McMahon, who has had good success against the Giants pitching these last couple of days, who will be leading off for the Colorado Rockies. Let's see, has there been an audience yet? There still has been no audience for this program. I've just been performing for no one. This is 50 minutes of me performing for no one right now. Because why would you watch this after the game is over? I don't know why you would do that. You know? There is a chat window there you could use if you want to join in. That's a viable thing to do. Why is that fridge open? Shouldn't it? All right, here we go. Logan Webb going back in for his 4th inning of work. It is the top of the 4th. Webb against Ryan McMahon, who has had tremendous success this last several days. Webb looks, sets, throws, and catches the top of the zone with the 93-mile-an-hour slider. It is 1-1. I must have missed a pitch, sorry. It is 1-1 to McMahon from Webb, who sets, deals, and misses outside. Two and 1 to Ryan McMahon, who has singled in this game already. Here comes the pitch. He swings and chips it backward into the catcher's kneecap covering. It dribbles away for a foul. It is 2-2. McMahon takes a walk, steps away from the plate. Logan Webb, with a 2-run lead, looks in on a 2-2 count, makes the throw. It is a good pitch. It is hit right back to Webb. Hits him in the shin. He recovers, picks it up, and underhand flips it to Lamont Wade Jr. for the first out. Checking on him to make sure he's okay. He's walking about. Doesn't look like he's too stressed. The umpire has come out. The catcher has come out. Now the trainer is coming out to take a look. The ball looks like it might have hit him on the shin. Trainer's out to take a look. Chapman's chatting with the umpire. Willie Adames and Guccione and these guys are all goofing around on the mound. It's pleasant to see. The ball was driven right back at Logan Webb, who had his leg up like this, and it hit him right there in the shin. All right, looks like he's going to be fine. Guccione heading back to behind the plate. Everybody going back to their respective positions. It'll be the DH, Hunter Goodman, stepping in. With 1 down in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch, right in the middle of the plate, driven right up the middle. The grounder on the first pitch from Logan Webb is a single for the designated hitter, Hunter Goodman. Low and away to Toglia, the switch hitter who is batting left today. 1 down, 1 on. Logan Webb sets, throws. That's inside. It's 1-1. Sorry, it's 2-0. 2-0 to Toglia. The runner on, Webb behind here. He checks first, looks in, sets, throws. Outside, 3-0 now. Webb looking a little bit shaken. Although a grounder for a double play sure would be nice. Toglia walked in the second. Looking now at a 3-0 count. The pitch is not called a strike. It is right on the side, inside. And it is given a ball, a base on balls to Toglia. Now with 1 down, there are runners on first and second for Logan Webb, who looks at Kyle Farmer. 1 down, 2 on. Sets, pitches, outside. That's 4 straight balls from Logan Webb. He did get hit by a pitch. Doesn't look bothered, though. 1-0. Here's the pitch. He's given that one. It did look low, but where it crossed the plate, it could have caught the corner. StatCast is showing it's well low. So Guccione, I don't know what you're doing, pal. It's 1-1 to Kyle Farmer, who was not pleased with that call. It's 1-1. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Farmer drills it directly to Koss, who flips it to Adames. The double play is made. And the inning-ending double play is started by the rookie, Christian Koss, who scoops up the grounder, flips it to Adames, who then throws out Farmer at first. Just like that, Logan Webb is out of trouble. Okay, what do we got going on here? Well, it's been almost an hour, folks. We're approaching the 5th inning, and I've not had a single viewer, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. This is Giants Baseball Corner with your host, and I am occasionally calling games because I want to practice getting my voice back and practice doing this, actually. Something I am good at and I haven't done in 25 years. So I've decided I want to do it again. And I have my own blog, don't I? Sure, Giants Baseball Corner. And I am him. So, just drop in whenever you like. I will be filing Monday morning reports every Monday morning and Friday morning reports every Friday morning. During the season, I am writing about the Giants every single day that they play, and sometimes on the off days as well. I write kind of bullet point versions of every game right after it's done. Like seconds after it's done, you can see that I will have already written it up before anybody else has posted anything. But it's just brief little bullets, and sometimes I'll work on that at night, and in the morning it'll even look different, but it'll be more rich and full of data. That said, I need 50 subscribers on this YouTube channel in order to be able to go live from my phone, which I'd prefer to do. It would be so much better. So please, if you could, subscribe, ask your friends to subscribe, and I appreciate you joining me at Giants Baseball Corner. Thanks very much. Go Giants!